Welcome to Metaphysical SoulSpeak. I'm your host, Elena Fox Starks. Hey guys, I hope that you had a good day today, or that you had a good night last night, depending on whenever and wherever you are when you hear this recording in particular. I hope that in the next few days that you're able to take time out of your busy schedule and send 5 minutes worth of love to somebody you can't frickin' stand. Love your enemies, Jesus said, but what if you could love them actively? Just see them as sleeping people. And when they wake up, they're going to be maybe lovely. Maybe they'll still be jerks. Maybe they'll be wonderful. And maybe they just will always have that horrid personality that you just can't stand. But maybe, just maybe, if you send enough people enough love, especially the ones that really need it, maybe they're going to wake up and go, oh my gosh, I was sleeping. Was I kicking you in my sleep? Was I punching the air in front of you? Oh, I'm so sorry. I was just asleep. Of course, that's not going to happen, but that's a metaphor, because most people, when they're sleeping, they don't know what they're doing. They have terrible nightmares as if they're real. It's only when you wake up to the light and you see around you in the light of day that the monsters you dreamt of were there really weren't. It was just you and the sunshiny days, the fairies all around. If you could see them or not, they're there. And love is all around you. That's the truth. There's nothing else. A friend of mine, my near twin flame, Jude Dikoff, has been putting up with a lot at his place of employment from people who are asleep, and from other places, all around him. It seems everywhere he turns, there's sleeping people that are just, frankly, driving him crazy. And I've been going through that as well, to a little lesser extent than that. But today I had a really frustrating day. It was annoying. A little bit of my PTSD was actually triggered, and I had a very exhausting day. I'm already tired. I'm grateful to be alive, though. Jude told me today, he's like, I'm just so tired of being a human. I'm just tired of this. Tired. That's how I've been feeling too. Like, how much longer do we get to experience a loneliness? Been there, done that. We already learned from it, right? Right? How much longer do we get to experience disappointment and heartache and people looking us over for promotions, or thinking that they deserve the right of way in the highway and they cut you off? And how much longer do we have to put up with this stuff? How much longer are people going to take us for granted and not love us the way they ought to? How much longer are they going to stay asleep? how much longer before they wake up and realize that they must and can and should embrace us as brothers and sisters. When people realize who they are, it's not going to be half bad a world, actually. It's not going to be an impossible place to live anymore. So if you take 5 minutes out of your day and you beam the love, you beam positive energy. I've got some friends that are so negative, guys. I love them so much. They're very sweet people, very loving and generous, but holy man, they're so negative in every aspect of their life. I've met people in the past, a long time ago, who said they don't want to date anyone within a 10-mile outside of a 10-mile radius of their house. Like, oh my God, talk about limitations. Why do you want to limit yourself? There's so much more than that. And people have said they don't want to date outside their city. Well, I could see that. But people say they'll never date someone from another country. I don't get that at all. I think it's fun. It's really challenging to have a relationship with someone who doesn't even speak your language. I've done that a couple times. I've had short-term relationships, and one that was a little bit longer, almost like 9 months or something. Officially 6 months, and then we kept on for another 4 or 5 months. But it's challenging and it's different. How do you communicate when you can't really talk to each other very well? You learn other ways, and you learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about other people. So beam love to your enemies and start to expand the things in which you do. If your family vacation for the past 30 years has been going to the lake that's 2 hours from your house, why not let this be your breakout year and you drive 5 hours to another state? Really expand your territory. A lot of you, I do know, have traveled to Europe from the United States recently, and a lot of you are traveling quite often to other countries, but there's still a lot of people in the U.S. that just don't travel. They just don't know. It's a joy. And you know, if you're an introvert and everywhere you go, people are saying stuff to you and you're just like, oh God, you could tune it all out if it's another language. It's so easy. You have your mind to yourself for once, and you could just sit back and hear the choir of angels singing in your head. Oh! Bahumore. No, that's not the angels. Those are the Who's down in Whoville. Coming up on Christmas. I haven't mentioned it in a while. I didn't want to keep hounding you guys, but I do want your Christmas stories and miracles. So send those to MetaphysicalSoulSpeak@gmail.com when you get a chance, if you have any. I know it's a very rare thing I'm asking for, but I know someone out there has got something like this. Have you ever seen Santa Claus? Have you ever had a Christmas miracle, or a Kwanzaa miracle, or a Diwali or Hanukkah miracle? I want to know about it. I want to know about it. I want to say a special shout out to Wayne and Jude and Rainey and Ariel and Joy. And also a special shout out, of course, to Riley and Kyle. All of you guys have contacted me in the past week, and I think I might have left out a couple people. If I left you out, I'm sorry. A lot of people have been writing me. I just want to thank you for that. And I want to let you guys know, you know what? Jude Dikoff, who was my guest last week, actually, he finished, started his podcast. He only had like a 5-minute blurb about himself and what he's going to do and what the nature of his podcast is going to be. I wanted to let you guys know that he has started his podcast. He has a couple episodes out now. He wanted to, just get it going. And he's probably going to drop it back down to once a week. But for now, I think he's got 2 out and he's getting ready to release the 3rd, just so that you guys can get a taste for what it is that he does. He's putting out his autobiography verbally, stories about his life. I love that. I always love that. From his very unique position as a starseed, he's also my near twin flame, and we just found each other. I guess he told me he's been trying to write me for a couple of weeks, and his stuff was he had bombarded me with so much information, it overwhelmed me. And I knew that what he was saying was real, and I knew that he was real, but I was just like, oh, this is going to take a minute, and his energy overwhelmed me. But he's been like, thank you, Jude, for being so much, kind of, I don't want to say the words thorn in my side, but there's something, persistent, your persistent efforts, and now I realize who you are, and you guys, I love him so much. He's such a good person, and he's very much misunderstood, and it's lonely when you get very, very high up into the metaphysical stuff, and you just don't really want to talk about who won the game last night. That kind of crap is so boring after you start to see into other realms, and you're seeing fairies, and you're seeing, dragons, or feeling the energy of the jinn, and they're with you. And when you start communing with all of nature, especially the seen and the unseen, it's just so boring, it gets boring. It's like, I want to go out and hang out in nature and just watch the ducks roll on by. Even if that one on the end is giving me the stink eye. Sometimes I think the swans can be very judgmental. In the park paradise here, it's really hilarious. I just, even if it's just like looking out my window and going, hey Fred, come on up, I got some seed for you. And my pigeon friend, he comes up and he high-fives me with his wings, slaps my hand. It's so cute and it's so fun. Every little interaction with the fairy world or with nature, I love that, That means so much more to me than watching a ball game on TV. And if you're, an athlete, I get it. I mean, when you're in it, you're actually, it's so much more exciting. And I love going to like a good sporting event in person, but it's just to watch on TV. I'm just like, oh my God, men playing with their balls, throwing them through some hoop or some apparatus. It's like, I don't know. And then it's just all of that for the excuse of slapping each other on the ass at the end. I don't know. And then the whole thing being the spirit of competition. The spirit of competition it's always something that's eluded me. And what's funny is when I was in 10th grade, I wrote an essay called The Spirit of Competition. And what was really funny is I had to talk about how I think it's a good thing. And I really didn't. But you know what? I won honorable mention in the Mead competition. It was a national competition. Randomly, out of nowhere, I got a giant box because I got honorable mention. So it's like 4th place or something, or 5th place. I think there's like 10 honorable mentions after the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd person in all of the whole United States. I'm like, hilarious that I fudged my beliefs on this. I wrote a good article about it and how, competition is good for the American spirit. It was just a bunch of rah, red, white, and blue bullshit, to be honest. But I really was so proud of those notebooks, man. I used them all summer, wrote down my thoughts, hopes, dreams, saved some, for the fall. Gave my brother a couple notebooks. I got some notebooks. We all got pencils. It was like fun. It was cool. Pens, pencils. It was awesome. I mean, I wrote it and I sent it away. I had to wait for months, But I've always much more preferred the spirit of cooperation. Taught my kids that, and I've kept my kids out of traditional public schools because I didn't want them to be raised to be a cog in the spoke of a wheel that's frickin' broken. Wheels on fire, rolling down the road. I just feel like that's what the society, it's so broken. It's like a wheel on fire. Notify my next of kin, 'cause this wheel shall explode. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about society and the spirit of competition. We gotta get one over on the enemy or get one over on the competition. Like, it's just like there's room for all of us on the planet, or we all wouldn't be here. And we have the cooperation energy available. It's always been available. I couldn't stand the idea of keeping my kids in public school. It hurt my heart. I felt it in my gut and in my heart and I could see it in them. Like, they're just like, God, it was killing them. It was killing their inner spirit and their unbridled passion, energy, and joy for living in life. Like how crestfallen they were when their teacher didn't call on them, or when they were told that they weren't all that good, or your words were okay, but boy, your handwriting sucks. I mean, my oldest had a teacher say that. And how dare that teacher? So what, Maybe my kids would have better handwriting if you taught them better. If you were more encouraging and loving. Instead of trying to be competitive with little children. And then making the kids compete against each other and making enemies of who should be their friends. So there's always that edge, that edginess, energy. It's like when you're in a room with if you're a woman and you're in a room with one of your girlfriends, or and then a guy walks in and, say you're both straight. This is a heteronormative, cisgendered kind of example. But so like if you're, with a friend and you're both like single and you're looking and a good looking person comes in. So I'm saying that person, not cisgendered, and you have that edgy competitiveness. And it's like, the people that were always my friends had way wildly different interests than me, like men that would be interested in my friend Gina Marie would probably be interested in speaking Spanish, the Latin American world. Back then I wasn't interested. I'm interested in it now, probably because Gina Marie rubbed off on me somehow, but she used to act on the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Sometimes she got to be like a stand-in, like a body double. And she acted in other things. And, but she's half Italian. And so I think she spoke Italian as well. I should ask her. She's up in San Francisco now. But, but people, and she was gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. But we were both beautiful in different ways, We had a different energy and way about us. And she wanted to go salsa dancing and go to concerts so she could dance to the Spanish music. And for me, I wanted to go to Nusrat Fateh Ali Khan. I wanted to go hear the spiritual music. And I'm more of a hippie, and I wore the long flowing skirts. And she always wore like athletic wear, but like she's gonna go out dancing any minute. And I was always like wearing the hippie skirts and the hippie styles and plastic beaded jewelry that my friends made for me and I made for me, and I'd make them jewelry too. It was fun. You know, I was always like that. I had my goth phase. I had a lot of different phases just for fun. Because I get bored. I can't do the same thing every day. Yeah. But there's always that competitive edginess of, oh, well, maybe he'll pick me. Maybe he'll pick me. And it used to be a little bit more about who could put themselves out there more, and then the man or the woman would be more interested in the one who is out there more. And there's an energy shift that's happened recently, and I hope you guys have noticed that everything is about genuine relationships and being who you truly are, and not about wanting to marry someone because you like the size of their knockers or their ding-dongs. I don't know. It's not about that crap anymore. It's not about, well, I don't like blondes. I'd rather have a brunette. Or I don't like, brunettes have a redhead. It's not about that shit anymore. It's not. It's just not. And so the cooperation stuff is coming more out. Like, well, what do you want to do with your life? You could have two equally beautiful men in the room, and you talk to one and he's amazing and you want to be with him, but his life goal is to live in frickin' Manhattan, live in the city and complain about the city. And then you talk to the other guy, equally as handsome, and his goal is to buy a medieval village in Spain, and fix it up and have an art community and the spirit of cooperation. So it seems to me that in the future, very shortly, all of our relationships are going to be based on having mutual dreams and goals. And it should have been like this all along. And I think that's why a lot of the marriages ended in divorce the past several decades. It's just, ew, I like what she likes. So that, let me get a little, my milkshake brings all the boys to the yard type of energy. It's bullshit. It's all crap. It's all bull crap. It's like, should never be about that, because in the end, after we leave this place, we don't bring our big badunkadunk with us, right? We don't. We're not about the body parts. We're not about the green eyes, or the red hair. We're not about any of that. We're about the energy, the energetic spirit forms that we truly are. We're just here temporarily in these bodies anyway, and so it's kind of weird that we brought it all the way down to the lowest possible competitive level. Because really what it's all about is finding someone that you love. And feeling comfortable with yourself. And the only way where you feel comfortable with ourselves is if we are known and loved and honored and respected for what we bring to the table energetically, spiritually, intellectually. We're not really our collection of achievements, but that's a part of it too. I don't really want to be with a guy who is 42 and still living off of his mommy. Thank you, God, I don't know anyone like that. I'm just saying that in general. But, who's never worked a day in his life, for example. But at the same time, I don't want a guy who's just a working stiff and he's an automatron and he doesn't think for himself or have any hopes or goals for the future. I'm not interested in that either. And I also don't like a guy who's a businessman, who's a go-getter, who can't wait to crush the competition either. The spirit of cooperation, I think, is important to me. And I feel like it's going to become important, more and more important in all aspects of our lives. You know, I feel like when I tell you guys, hey, go check out Jude in the Starseed perspective, he's got a really unique and an amazing perspective on everything. And I think his podcast is going to be absolutely fabulous. I'm definitely going to listen to it. I listen to other podcasts too. And you know what? Every single one of us, we're all unique and different. And because we're all unique and different, we should promote each other. We should always help each other. And I tried to have a business consulting business, and I did consult with several businesses for a while. And I was always trying to tell them, like, look, you know, like, for example, my dog food lady, she sold organic dog food and organic treats and like little Halloween costumes for dogs. It was adorable. And that was her thing. And I said, well, I think that we need to cross-pollinate. You know, like, our businesses need to cross-pollinate. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, well, you know, you do organic health food. You know, people really give a crap about their dogs if they come and spend the extra money on your food. You know, $40 versus a $5 bag, right? To give the optimum nutrition. So why don't you put veterinarian cards out that are holistic veterinarians or naturopathic veterinarians? Because they exist. And she's like, oh, I do have one or two. I go, and how many of their cards of yours that they hand out? She goes, you know what? They never have. Like, well, now they're going to. She's like, oh my God, that's such a good idea. I'm like, yeah. Because your business does not compete. In fact, it is cooperative with theirs. And you're not a pet groomer, neither's a veterinarian, so let's get a pet groomer in the mix. Somebody who uses all natural ingredients to wash the dogs versus chemicals. She's like, oh my God, now you're talking. I'm like, well, let's get dog walkers who don't believe in using synthetic dyes or perfumes, you know, on their body. She's like, oh my gosh, you know. So like I started thinking along the lines of, if you promote a veterinarian, why not promote 5 more businesses and you're cooperating? That cooperation spirit lifts you up so much higher energetically. It raises your vibration. And then if you do that, and then you give your card to all those people, now you're all boosting each other. It's just the way I look at it. You know, that's why I've talked so much about like Ralph Smart and, you know, all these other people on YouTube as well. I mean, I'm on YouTube, but my presence on YouTube isn't like theirs. I mean, you don't see me doing a lot of videos in which I'm talking. If you go to Elena Fox Arcs, you're going to see some of my travel videos of me and my family. I just needed to store it someplace, and I thought it would be fun, entertain people. I'm smoking a cigar in one. It's hilarious. My first time ever smoking a Cuban, so I was like so excited, and I felt so illegal, even though I was in Mexico where it was totally legal. I just felt like, haha, I'm an American smoking a Cuban. And now we can go to Cuba, it's not a problem, but back then it was like, oh, smoking a commie cigar. No, but I like to promote other people, and I think that we should all like to promote other people doing the same thing. My husband and when we had our hypnotherapy practice, I would refer clients to him when it was something that he was better suited for. He was a nurse by trade, and my degree was in human sexuality, so he would send me the clients that had sexual issues like impotence or whatever, and I would send him the clients that had medical issues like thyroid problems or irritable bowel syndrome, you know, weird stuff like that. Like, I just, you know, hey, if it's a medical based thing, that's yours. You're a nurse. That's the one you're going to handle. Unless someone specifically wanted to work with a woman. You know, if gender was an issue for some people, it was. You know, I had women that had female related problems, like, and they didn't want to deal with a man or had PTSD. I had one client who had been raped, another who was being beat up by her husband. So, hey, those are my clients. And my husband had a guy who was an abuser, didn't want to be an abuser, and he was beating up his girlfriend and stalking her, and he was like, I feel like a crazy person. I met her, and then I became a crazy person. And so he got him to not be competitive and not be jealous, but to be cooperative. And to see that it's not the end of the world if a relationship breaks up. It's not the end of the world at all. Just ran its course and that's it. So I want you guys to think about the cooperation aspect and about how, and I want you to notice how the relationships really truly are changing. They really truly are changing. There's a lot more people throupling up, Instead of a couple, you're a throuple, 3 of you instead of 2 of you. And I know that the Andromedan 4, I don't even know, quadruple, I don't even know what we would call that one. Thruple, I don't know. I'm sure that's not too far behind. I mean, there's always been the fringe, crazy 20, 30, 40 people in a hippie commune society, or I'm sleeping with everyone else type of thing. Not always, I mean, the thing has always been around, but, it's like that happens once every 20 states, right? It's like very rare that happens, but the throupling thing is happening a lot more. 4 people in a relationship are living in a house together to save on expenses and to love each other, be there, and cooperate with each other. I have a feeling it's going to get to be more and more. I really do. Meanwhile, I could probably see myself in my own house in the middle of the forest by myself. Talking to my djinn who no one can see, and talking to the fairies that no one can see. Hopefully not. I'll find somebody. I think I might have, but we'll see. I keep having visions, though, of my guy, and I'm happy. I have visions, about my next relationship, and then plus my twin flame, so I don't know if my twin will ever be there, but I keep having visions of someone who's going to be there soon, and, but I just want someone who's going to be cooperating, I want someone who's going to want to be with me because of who I am at my core, what I've done, what I do, where my goals are headed. I don't want someone who just wants to, come in and try to take over the real estate world and ignore everything that I do. I hate that competitive stuff. Oh, I like you. You're pretty. I'm going to be your husband. No, you're not. You don't even know me. Who the hell are you? A lot of weirdos out there. So you want someone to cooperate with you in every, aspect, business and friendships, relationships, even in your family. People aren't cooperating. It's like, psh. All right, well, nice to see you. See you later. See you later, Aunt Millie. You're not going to cooperate with me. See ya, wouldn't want to be ya. But I do feel the world is changing. People are waking up, thank God. Thank God. Anyway, I'm going to tell you guys what's going on with, my phone was plugged in because of the horrible battery issue. I don't know what's going on there. It's gotten a little bit better, but still. All right. DisclosureNews.it today. They just say power 13. Virtually calm, only slight movements between 3 and 5 UTC time with a maximum power. They have only 13. And yet again, the heartmath.org, I'm trying to I've been trying for a couple hours to refresh the page, and it still says, sorry, this data is temporarily unavailable. Please try again later. Yeah, so annoying. Trying again, though. We'll see what happens. Maybe it's been fixed. Oh! Yeah, hell's bells. It's been fixed. That's so awesome. All right, let's do this. Wow. I wanted to tell you, yesterday 570 was the top peak of Hulului, and it went down to 417, went right back up. And right before midnight, right at midnight, yeah, they went up to 528 again. We'll start with Hulului, South Africa, because that's the one that stands out the most right now. South Africa start off at midnight at 528 Hertz frequency. But you know what? By 5 a.m., or actually, let me fix this. It says 3 a.m., hopefully. Oh, I'm lying. That was yesterday. I'm sorry. That was the November 13th. All right, there we go. So, yeah, I guess they topped out about 526 yesterday. I'm so glad we get to see the numbers from yesterday because we certainly did not have them available yesterday. Let's see here. And then the next one that stood out yesterday was only 152, and that was Northland, New Zealand. Everyone else was below that. All right, so we're going to start from tonight, though. Okay, so November 14th. California started off at 22 Hertz frequency and went down to 5 by 5 a.m. And, well, as always, Hofu, Saudi Arabia, still at 0 all the way across the board. From midnight till 5 a.m., just plain, flat, 0. That's all she wrote. Lithuania started off at 12 Hertz frequency and went down to 0 by 5 a.m. It's really strange. All these anomalies with all this stuff, it's been very, very weird. With all the electronic crap that went on yesterday. And, okay, in Alberta, Canada, started off at 34 Hertz frequency at midnight, and they went down to 8 by 5 a.m. And let's see here. Northland, New Zealand started off at 67 Hertz frequency at midnight, and they went down to 16 Hertz frequency by 5 a.m. And for today, though, even though it's been super impressive, they were in Hulului, South Africa, start off at 178 Hertz frequency at midnight. Is that midnight? Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Actually, that was 11 last night. They were at 155 Hertz frequency at midnight and went down to 41 by 5 a.m. So everything is going down. All of them went down. Not one of them went up this time. Very weird, right? Interesting. I can't even explain why. It's interesting to watch it. I don't know. All right. A Course in Miracles, acim.org. We are on lesson 157. It's where we left off from yesterday. And this is the special thought of the day. Into His presence would I enter now. Into His presence would I enter now. This is a day of silence and trust. It's a special time of promise in your calendar of days. It's a time heaven has set apart to shine upon and cast a timeless light upon this day, when echoes of eternity are heard. This day is holy, for it ushers in a new experience, a different kind of feeling and awareness. You've spent long days and nights in celebrating death, but today you learn to feel the joy of life. Into His presence would I enter now. If you want to read more of this lesson, it is quite a bit longer than what I read. Go to acim.org, or you can download A Course in Miracles app the Foundation for Inner Peace. They're the original publishers, but as they didn't copyright the work, it's available in a lot of places for free. So I think that's pretty cool. Buy the book if you can, but you don't have to. You could get it for free. I bought my copies back in the day for $60 for all of the books, the teacher's manual and everything. And it was in storage and I lost it. Dadgummit, but I'll probably go get another copy of all of it again. Anyway, I'm gonna do a channeling tonight. This is a weirder one. I just love when people go, "Oh, well, nice to meet you. Where are you from? What do you do for a living?" I'm like, I channel the sun for a podcast. What? What are you smoking? Well, nothing today because I've got to work and channel for a podcast. But when I'm done, I'll probably give you a token out. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, maybe I will. Who knows? I had an extremely stressful day today, guys. I am so completely spent, dead, exhausted. I know I'm getting this out again 3 freaking hours late. 2 hours late, actually. I'm in time for your morning commutes for most of you, especially in Florida. I got some of you in Florida, some of you in Texas. This is here for your commute. But, yeah, just a lot of energy, a lot of negative, but also frustrating, but also potentially good, but the tension surrounding financial stuff today. Like, it's been incredible. Like this woman who's been asking me to buy my house out from under me for years called me today saying she wants to take some pictures to tell me how bad my house has been. She's the one that promised that she was going to put a lock on my door, which she did not. And I have a feeling she made sure that my house would be completely uninhabitable. And now some of the shingles have fallen off the roof. That's not her fault. But, she's like, she told me that I'm holding the neighborhood hostage by not fixing up my house. It's like, excuse me, I was kind of run out of Detroit there for a while, and I've been just trying my best, scrambling to try to get enough money to go back and fix up my house, because my goal was to live in it and to just be a writer and write, make money. Buy a car and fix up my house and live in my cute little house, because I love that house. I really, really love that house. And I saw today that maybe I do need to sell it. Depends on how much she's going to offer me. She's going to try to lowball me. Forget it. I'll let her suffer another year, then I'll make my money and go and fix it up. But I know I need to live in Ecuador. My higher guidance says it's you need to be an expatriate. And even my son was like, we need to let the house go, Mom. Let's just sell it. Like, screw it. Let's get the money. And I mean, in that house, I've got books and CDs and clothing. And it's like, I've lived without it for many years, but do I go back and get my things? Or do I just let my things go? I've got a lot of crystals that I consider to be like little children to me that I love. And a lot of stuff, even my son's like, God, he had a money collection. He had money from like 20 different countries. And he put it in a box, and that's there. I'm sure his bicycle's gone. I'm sure that some of the kids stole some of our stuff. But I had some really nice clothes I just bought. Really nice stuff. I'm sure my Abercrombie & Fitch hoodie is gone that I bought in Guatemala. But I mean, some of the stuff, meant nothing to no one but me. Plus, I had some plans for building some solar panels for pennies on the dollar, stuff like that. And it just bothers me. I had like a witchcraft seminar series that was like frickin' 36 CDs or something, and it was very interesting. And this woman was a hereditary witch, and I didn't get to go through it before I had to leave. And I got some stuff that I'm just like, do I let it go? Probably I should let it go. So I've been contemplating my connection to material objects this past week. I hope that if you guys are contemplating this stuff too, that you're able to kind of see through some of the illusion of the BS of it. I think because I'm mildly on the spectrum, that my connection to objects is a lot more intense than it is for other people. And it's how I anchored into the illusion so well. I do see that now. But also, it's like with all the people in my life that have rejected me and left me and treated me like crap, and, you know, even my own mother, you know, it's just the one I just can't get over. It's like, she'd give my brother $10,000 and say, he'll probably never pay me back, but whatever, it's only money. And then like 10 minutes later say, oh, but that $100 I sent you. Like, there was a gift. I thought it was a gift. She said that was by the way alone, even though she never told me that. She put it in a card with butterflies on it, saying how much she loved me and hoped this money helped. I never asked her for money. But then she expected me to pay her back. You know, that kind of stuff. Like, how is that fair? It's not freaking fair at all. You know, I don't send, you know, I would never do that. I would never send my oldest child money and saying, I hope you pay me back. Knowing he's struggling, you know what I mean? Like, and she knew I was struggling. And it's like, I don't know, it's like my cousin's husband died after my husband died, and when my husband died, my cousin didn't bother to even say I'm sorry, or to call and ask me if I was all right. Or actually, her husband died first, and so, you know, but I was there for her. But like, I mean, I'm so much, like, telling her how much I love her. I'm willing to come up. Do you need company? Do you need, you know, I'll bring the kids up. We'll hang out. I'll stay in a hotel if you don't want to, you know, if you don't want company in your home. I understand, because it's a stressful time, but I just want to take you out to eat, reconnect, anything you need or want. Ooh, I said that and some fairies just flew through my room. Ooh, hi guys. It's like 4 or 5 I'm just now, and then they disappeared again. But, you know, so it's like the I don't know where the disconnect is. You know, when I show people how much I love and care for them, and I act appropriately. I think I act appropriately for the most part. I mean, you know, aside from my crazy Heyoka wisdom and my sexual joking, but I do have, you know, like, actual genuine love and concern. And then when my husband died, suddenly people scattered to the 4 fucking winds, and like, they didn't give a crap anymore. Like, I live in Ecuador, and I think most of my family don't even know it. They treat me like I'm dead. If I ever post, sometimes they'll like something and they go, oh wow, where are you living now? It's like, y'all don't remember when I announced I was going to become an Ecuadorian citizen? That takes a few years, like 5. In my case, it's going to take like 7. Unless I get married to an Ecuadorian man. But, you know, it's not my goal. I don't want to marry to be staying here. I want to marry for love. Nothing else. But I mean, I don't know. I don't understand. And seeing all that, it's not even competitive stuff. Maybe it is a little bit on my cousin's part or on my mom's part, making my brother and I, pitting us against one another. Even though he and I never felt that way about each other. We love each other. We're cooperative with each other. And so I've been looking at all that. I've been looking at some weird material, literally material, like money related and stuff and physical stuff. And I've been looking at the way that people treat each other. And I've been looking at the competition versus cooperation. So I don't know. Hey, maybe I'm going to bring up some of these things for you, and some of them might be issues, and some of them might be insights. And so I hope that, whatever I say can spark things in you where you could go, oh, wow, the material stuff isn't all that important. And we get so frickin' attached. I get really attached to certain things. I miss my bicycle that was in Chico. I had that bicycle with me for 20 years, and I kept it in perfect condition. I spent $500 getting it completely overhauled. From, top to tails. My bicycle was it was a $500 bicycle to begin with, and I bought it in the 90s. And it was a beautiful bike. And it was very unique, and I've never seen anything like it before or since. It wasn't quite a boy's bike, and it wasn't quite a girl's bike. It was like something in between. It had big chunky tires, but it had 18 speeds or something. Maybe it was 24 speeds. It was an incredible bicycle. And it was my transportation. I'd rather take that in the rain than my stupid old car back in the day. So I had so much fun on the bike. There's a lot of weird stuff I miss. I get attached. I don't know, you guys get attached to things. But anyway, I'm going to take a quick break, and you guys can contemplate that for the rest of the day, as long as you also listen to the next part, which is the sun. And the sun is so mellow. I already did this part. I did the reverse dyslexic show again, and he's so mellow. His energy is so I love you guys. You know what I mean? He's so energetically chill. He's the epitome of chillax, I love the sun. I love his energy. It's so warm and inviting, and also chillax. And I don't know, I haven't heard from Luna in a while, the spirit of the moon, but the last time I had a conversation with her, she just felt so cold and so distant. So uninterested in human affairs. And angry that we would think she did care about us like that. It was such a weird energy compared to the energy of the moon. I mean the sun. The energy of the sun, he's just involved. He sees us. I feel seen by him. And I don't know if you have you ever been in touch with the high vibrational energy of the sun, where you walk outside and you're having a commune with him. There's a union there, a communion. A commingling of the energy of you and the sun. He's changing your skin, giving you angel kisses, the freckles, and he's changing your hair and making it lighter. In some cases, he's making you tan, and in my case, he's making you whiter, because I get bleached out like old bones, but I don't know why I get whiter in some, but I get whiter, but then also I get freckles. It's so strange, but there's a communion there, where when I go out under the moon, I'm just a little frightened almost. It's weird. It's beautiful, and I like looking at the moon, but it doesn't give me the same energy as the sun. The sun is life-giving. He is a life giver. The moon lights our path, but she's a reflection of the sun, who is the life bringer. If it wasn't for the sun, we wouldn't have plants that grow. That's how plants create the green color. It's chlorophyll. It's created with the sun. It's firewood traps the energy of the sun in it. And when you light it on fire, it's releasing the energy of the sun, which is why it radiates the same exact warmth and feeling of coziness that you get when you lay out on the beach in the summertime. You could have that same feeling in the wintertime when the sun's low in the horizon, but you light that fire, and it's once again, you feel connected with the sun. Even if you're not consciously aware of it, that's what it is. So I don't know. But he's so mellow. I hope you enjoyed this interview. I'm going to take a quick break, and when I come back, you guys are going to hear about the sun's perspectives, and he's telling us a little bit. He doesn't give us a lot of information, but he's giving us some information about energies he's been sending to us, how he's been sending it to us, and how interested in us he actually is. Right after this message. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's high time you did. It is the absolute easiest way to make a podcast. First of all, it's absolutely free. Second of all, they have creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. You guys have known that I've been doing this for 8 months using the Anchor.fm app right on my cell phone, and I have done it everywhere, right? I have recorded this in my living room, my bedroom, little cafes in Quito, Ecuador, all over Cuenca. It's so absolutely easy to make your podcast, and editing is just a snap. Anchor also will distribute your podcast for you, and it took me about 2.5 months to become syndicated, and now I'm available on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many more, and so can you. You can make money from your podcast also, and there's no minimum requirement. You get paid from your very first listener. It is everything that you need to make a podcast all in one place. So please, if you are interested in making a podcast of your very own, do not hesitate to start with Anchor. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started today. Metaphysical Soul Speak is run on sponsors and listener support. This means listeners like you. If you are so inclined to support my efforts and my little podcast, please visit me at anchor.fm/metaphysical and pledge an amount of your choosing today. Thank you. All right, guys, I am here. I am connected with the sun, the spirit of our nearest ball of fire, grandfather sun, Ra, the sun god, whatever name you have for him, soul, S-O-L. I'm connected to the sun right now. So I'm gonna channel for a while and see what he has to say for himself and what's going on in the cosmos and why did he want to speak to me today. I love the sun and he's awesome. And with normal people that I channel, I'll see an outline of their form in my room. If I close my eyes, I could see them clearly. With the sun, and I close my eyes, I just see the sun. Don't ever stare directly at the sun. But I just get filled with an energy of bright, happy, sunshiny joy. Is the energy of the sun. So, anyway, I am an indirect channel. I don't allow beings to take over my body. I sometimes get very trancy. I get very into it. Sometimes my voice will change a little bit because I'm trying to get across the voice of the person or entity that I'm channeling. And sometimes their energy is so heavy that it happens automatically. So I'm a indirect telepathic channel, and that's what we're doing here today. So we're going to get right into it. Am I connected to the sun? Muscle testing says yes. So, Soul or Ra, I don't know what you want us to call you. Soul is fine, he says. Okay. Do you want me to interview you? He says, no, I have a few words I wish to speak. Okay, go ahead. You are more than welcome. Start anytime. Hello to all of my human children, I call you, even though most of you are adults. It takes a lot to become a grand planetary being, such as a sun or a planet. Technically, I am a star, and it takes a lot of spiritual growth. I wasn't always a star. I was before, way in the beginning. I could call it my youth. I was a bipedal being, much like yourself. I was not a human. I was not on the planet Earth, because you couldn't have life on the planet Earth without yours truly. Oh, guys, I'm getting so hot. You talk to the sun and it's just so hot. All right, sorry, grandfather, son, I'm so hot. He says, it's understandable. I have an overwhelming energy, and I am a form of heat as well as light. And light itself produces the energy of heat. They call it calories on your planet, I believe. Not the food kind, but the caloric energy generated. So, okay, go ahead. So, yeah, okay. I started off as bipedal. I started off as a third dimensional being, much like you all did. And I worked myself up through the ranks, you might say. We all did. All of the stars, all the planets at one point were, in the beginning, other forms, other beings. We had to take our turn. Someday you might become planets. Maybe satellite planets such as moons. Someday you might be suns or stars. But I understand, even though I am very, 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 very old as a being, I understand what it was like to ascend, to grow, to spiritually awaken, and the pain that it causes, just as I see in birds when they're being born, when they're cracking open their shells and they're so warm and cozy inside, but they just can't stand it anymore, and they have to bust through that outer shell. And once they bust through it, the rush of cold air comes in, and now they're more uncomfortable than when they were inside, but they have to move forward. And they're cold until they come into the light of the sun. And that's one of the favorite parts of my job, is to warm the babies that are born outside in nature, and they need me. I help to dry their fur in the cases of little fawnlings or baby birds, any animal really that's born in the sunshine. And I give them every bit of life that I possibly can. And I feel it when you love me when you send me love and you tell me that you love me, I feel that. And I appreciate that, because my warmth that I give to you is a form of my love for you. Not everybody takes love in the form of warmth or warm caresses. That's the way I imagine it must feel to be you receiving my love. I hope that's how you receive me. Although I see some of you get very upset and frustrated when you have too much sun. And I'm sorry when I burn your skin. I don't mean to do that. But everybody must take everybody else in small measure, in small amounts. I feel that I am your grandfather and you are like my grandchildren sometimes. I don't feel that I am a higher, better, loftier being than you, in spite of what you might consider, because the higher you go up spiritually, the higher you feel in vibration, the more humble you feel. I am grateful to serve as your son. I'm grateful to be here as your being of actual light. And I'm happy to give you the light you need to conduct your day-to-day activities. And most of you are too busy to look up, and obviously don't look at me directly. But most of you don't consider that I'm there. Like a grandfather watching grandkids on a Sunday afternoon, I'm there. I've been with you since the day you're born, and I'll be with you till the day you die, and I'll be with you in all your lifetimes you live upon this planet. You're all very important to me. I obviously shine on you equally in equal amounts. It doesn't matter to me how much money you have. It doesn't matter to me how many friends you have, or if you're a loner. I'm still gonna shine on your skin. I'm still gonna warm your back on your sad days. I'm still going to bring the light and the joyous energy on your happy summer days. Until I burn out, I will be here loving you in your every moment. Now, what you might not know is that I give you energy even in the nighttime, and you are on the other side of the planet as your planet rotates. In fact, I give all the planets of your solar system. Thank you for calling it that, by the way, solar. I think it's funny that you consider that you revolve around me, but I revolve around God. I see that many of you consider yourself to be nothing, especially lately. The energy has been trying to clear those patterns away, and I've been sending as much energy your direction as possible. It is true, I am a portal for the galactic central sun. The love, the light, and the energy directly from God pours through my body, and I shine it on down to you. Even if you never consider me as your son, I still love you. But I don't travel around myself. Obviously, I have something else to travel around. the whole galaxy. We travel around together, around the universe, around the grand central sun, the residing point from which Prime Creator creates everything. I don't even know what there is beyond where I'm at. I honestly can't imagine that there is something higher than being a sun, next to being the Creator himself. And maybe I'm wrong. It's hard for me to see what my next step is, and I can imagine it's hard for you to see what your next step is. But I'm sending you love and light. I'm sending you the emotion of love and joy. I'm doing my best to always shine on you. And when you are on the other side and it's dark and it's nighttime, I'm still sending you energy. These beams of my more specialized light that you cannot see with your eyes can penetrate the earth. It's very powerful. It's creating situations in your bodies. Right now, especially because I've changed in my harmonic octaves, you have changed in your bodies because of it. You're becoming crystalline beings. I'm becoming a crystalline sun, I suppose. I have to send constantly the beams towards your planet to create situation in which your DNA is changing. The structure of your cells, not just the DNA itself, but the size and the shape of your cells are changing. Many of you have noticed your faces are changing. The way you look is changing. It's almost as if you are being molded by a grand invisible sculptor who is molding your face so slowly that you see different changes, but eventually they're gone, and so you're okay again. But your faces are changing. And what I mean by that is some of you wake up and your face looks old and haggard, but by the next day your face looks a lot younger. Some days your face might look like you've gained a lot of weight, and it starts to hang down a little bit in some cases, but within 3 days it's always back and you're looking younger. Everything in your body is changing in very strange and unusual ways. This is the first time ever that this has happened to humanity, so you have to expect it's going to be weirder and weirder still. I have much more than what you know, but you've heard of neutrinos and gamma rays. There's more energy. There's plasma that's sent to you that cannot be seen with your eyes. The days you feel overwhelmed and the days you fall asleep, having your cosmic naps, as you call them. It's usually because of me. I'm sending an energy that is similar to a fog, sometimes to caress and envelop you for the next wave of energy that's coming. I will never stop loving you, and I will never stop shining for as long as I possibly can. There are corridors that come from my planetary body that enter into the earth. These corridors are intense corridors filled with light, but it's light that is not visible to the human eyes, nor to that of the animals. It is a very high vibrational sort of portals. There's like beams that come down. They're not static portals. It's not something that you might one day accidentally run into with your car or bump into it while you're walking. It's nothing like that, but it's a fluid energy. But it's very flexible, and I've been sending not just energy to your surface and not just beaming energy through the planetary surface to the other side, because I do that as well. This is a different frequency, and so it reaches the surface of the planet and then penetrates deep into what you might be calling the crystal caves. These crystal caves harbor every kind of crystal imaginable, although most of them have remained hidden on Earth. They tend to be in very remote locations. And we send vibrations out to you between me and the crystals and Mother Earth herself. These crystals have been filled with my light recently to the point where they couldn't take it anymore, and they had to burst forth with energy that they blasted back towards me. But in so doing, it was like a sieve filtering out dirt from muddy water, and the energy from those crystals became like a filter. A lot of you are bickering or sad or depressed or have negative emotions that you've buried. Many of you have imagined these emotions going deep into the earth. Well, I'm helping the earth get rid of all that negativity. This has been talked about before by your host as well as other people on the internet. But we want you to know that sending all this energy to you isn't a form of punishment. It isn't because I want to knock out your power supplies. I don't want to hurt humans at all. In fact, I'm trying to heal all of you so that you can each individually feel whole and complete as a person. I want you to feel fulfilled in whatever profession you undergo. I'm even supplying your vitamin D for you. I feel like a proud father, and when you listen to this recording, I'm going to finally be heard and feel the energy of that. I accept every single one of you regardless of what you're doing in your life, whether it's good or bad or weird or against the norm. None of that bothers me. My biggest concern is that you live beautiful, full lives, and that you are taking moments out of your day to feel happy and alive and joyful and even playful. That's the energy I'm always trying to get to you. I hope that on your sunshiniest of days, you remember me from now on, and that you bring a smile to your face. I'm going to see it energetically. I feel it when you smile. I could tell the general energy of somebody. And I can raise vibrations, especially when I'm asked. As can you, by the way. You are entering what is called the Golden Age. I like to refer to as the Golden Age of the Sun. So I'll get to beam a lot of love and happiness and light your way, and you will feel it and know me. For those of you who have been talking to me and thanking me for my service, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you for being there and being the person that I'm here to serve. There's nothing in the universe that is not based on partnerships of one kind or another. Even siblings have a form of partnership when they are incarnated together in a family. That partnership is to be companions as well as somebody to bicker with and fight with and learn how to get along with. Those early years with your siblings, even if they're hard, makes for tougher adults. I've watched each and every one of you grow. I've even kept track of your lives. Did you know? Did you know that I care that much? I don't play favorites, as you know. I shine equally on everybody, provided there's no rain and clouds, of course. I don't pry into your minds and your day-to-day inner workings, but I watch. And I know each of you as I see you grow from a baby to an adult. I don't know your in and out daily lives, so don't misconstrue that. But when you're outside, I notice you. I see you. And I'm always here. You can always say hello to me. You could always rise up in the morning with me to greet. I rise up to greet the people. You can rise up to greet the dawn, which is me. I get thrilled when people look out the window and have me shine on their faces, or when they walk down the street or out on their lunch break to catch rays of the sun. It makes me very happy. I'm always sending you rays of light. And in the rays of light, besides the light you see on other realms, there's high vibrational frequencies and light codes. And all the things that you're going to need to survive in the fifth dimension. It's a much different world than where you came from just a few years ago. The fifth dimension will mimic the third dimension until you all have let go of most of the remnants of the third dimension. A lot of you are still frustrated. We see. Everybody sees your frustration with the system, the brokenness, the aliens or reptilians or whatever you want to call them, or the archons we've heard it called. But when I say we, did you know there are beings inside the sun, inside me? There are beings. Like you have a fairy, like you have a guardian angel, and fairy godmothers take care of plants and animals, or the fairy folk. Everyone has an assignment, someone who's assigned to them. But we have here the central operations of the sun. And there are high dimensional beings that live here. And they make sure that everything is going according to divine plan. And most of their time they've spent in silent contemplation and meditation. And they also like to watch down below to see what the humans are up to today. lately, through the portal that is me, I've been beaming blue energies, a lot of blue energies, so that you can stand up and have your voice counted and heard. Opening up your communication channels. I've been trying to monitor what all these energies are doing. I don't always have a handle on what's happening, but you've also been blasted with a lot of rainbow energy lately. The rainbow energy not only balances all of your chakras, but also helps to formulate each individual cell, which is now a crystalline rainbow form. I just wanted you to know that I am here. I'm not just a ball of gas circling your planet, or well, rather, you're circling me. The sun is integral to your spiritual growth, changing your DNA when it's needed, and showing you a bright example, literally a bright example, that I come back every day, every day, every day. I'm here as an example for, those of you that are mothers. You have to go every day to your child. You have to take care of your duties as a child, for taking care of your child every day. Those of you who are in relationships, you have to take care of the other person every day in one way or another. I'm an example of that every day, every day, every day. I'm back with consistency. I've been changing my vibrational frequency higher and higher and higher. Some of you might have noticed that sometimes my color changes. I vibrate at different hours, different vibrations. And according to other things coming through our skies, when we have meteors, that changes my energy. For example, I am dedicated to be here, serving you, humanity, as your son, for as long as it takes. The third dimensional world is almost gone. I'll still be here in the fifth dimension. I might look slightly different when your eyes adjust to the different lights. When your eyes adjust to the different vibratory frequencies and the new colors, you're going to have new colors that you get to see. Some of you are already starting to see these colors in your mind's eye or around objects, like as if they have a glow. These energies are going to be very helpful in transforming you into what you were destined to become. These portals that I send the light beams down into the center of the earth, I try to nourish the base of the crystals, just as if I was nourishing a tree with my sun rays. And I'm going to continue to do all of this stuff for a very, very long time. When your 3D earth goes away, I'll still be shining in the sky. I have chosen this assignment to be the sun And it's very, 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 very long. I can't imagine for me the next step. But I'm happy about being in the fifth dimension with you. I'm happy about serving you. I'm sorry about the confusion with some days my appearance is golden and other days my appearance is a dull white dim light. I wanted to assure you that I'm not going out. I'm not a light bulb that needs to be changed, and I'm not going out. I'm going to be providing transmissions of all light languages to you soon. For those of you who have not gotten light languages, all of the light languages are being uploaded, and I've become a repository for all of the light languages. The ones that you are meant to have will be beamed to you, be received by you, and you will know who you are when it happens. I just wanted to be here with you, have an energetic communion with you, and spend some time. Even if there's great pauses in my speech, I'm constantly beaming you the delightful energy and feeling of love, warmth, compassion, and kindness. If you don't notice it, that's okay. If you do notice it, you'll make my day if you mention it to me. If you just say a simple thank you, son. But all I do in my job, in my duties, is to help you transform, spiritually grow, stay warm, and warm the surface of the earth, as well as other things, to keep your world functioning smoothly. To quote some of the humans, it is a cushy job. It's very easy. And it's very easy for me to love each and every one of you. I hope it's easy for you guys to love each other and to also love me and your planet and the moon. You will be receiving crystalline codes soon. By next Thursday, you're going to receive these codes. They're going to start giving you the biggest genetic enhancements yet. When these codes go into your body, they will lie dormant until you personally are ready, and then you will have a lot of what you have been seeking. The light codes that will help you recognize and harness your power to create magic on Earth, to start fire in your hand or levitate or any number of things. Adding that secret ingredient of love to every recipe and thereby transmitting the energy of love to everybody. I'm going to put special energy into all the plants and food to enhance that. Don't become dismayed or alarmed when you see clouds and you miss the sun, because I'm always here on the other side of the clouds. And the clouds are nurturing you in another way. The clouds have nebulous forms. Sometimes they help you to stop the materialization wanting more and more material. Sometimes the clouds will stop people from leaving the house when they pour down more and more rain, and thunder and lightning is very loud. Sometimes that's meant to interact with your patterns as a form of pattern disruption so that you can stop and take stock of what's really important. Oh, you guys, someone else came to me. Hello? You need what? Okay. Can you wait till I'm done with my show? Okay, you can sit down in that chair. Is there more than one spirit in here? Is there more than two? Alright, guys, I still have my Incan spirit now. A little old lady just passed away and she came for help. Are you newly deceased? Oh, okay. I'll be with you in a minute, sweetie. Oh my gosh, she's so cute, guys. She has a little handbag and she's sitting on my chair, and that's the handbag's in her lap. Like she's taking a journey. She's got her hat and her smart coat on. That's what she calls it, her smart coat. Oh, so cute. I'll be with you in a minute, honey. Okay. I was about to say something and then it was like, wait, no, that's a disruption. So, speaking of pattern disruption, so clouds and thunder and lightning, in many ways, it's meant to disrupt your patterns. Many people who have a deep consumeristic need, they have to go out and buy things. They're addicted to that. When it rains, they stay home. It's a pattern disruptor. It almost is a reset for everybody's negativity or their foul moods or anything that they're doing. It's just a pattern disruptor. I've been watching this happen on Earth for a long time. Alright, I don't see. Is there anything else, son? He says, no, that's about it. I just want to keep on shining for you. Because I'm making it so that each and every one of you can shine back. We are watching everybody grow spiritually by leaps and bounds in these days, and we're so proud of you. One parent to a child, if you want to look at me that way. I'm telling you, I love you and I'm proud of you. Alright, now he's giving me some arrows. I don't know what that means. Is that from you, son? Yeah, the arrows. Okay, he says it's the symbol of the rays. In a lot of ancient art, when you see an arrow, it's not always about hunting. It's the rays of the sun sometimes. Interesting, I didn't know that. Now will make me look at things a little bit different now. I'm happy that my light grows plants on your world for you to eat, but I must tell you that everything is changing, including the plants. I wanted to let you know about the genetic vibrations are going to change with your plants as well. Your genetic vibrations are changing, so the plants and the animals and the humans are all going at the same pace, but the food that you will eat now is nothing compared to 4 years ago, 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago. I want to tell you all that I hope you become the best you can possibly be. Always accept more and more success in your spiritual endeavors. Sometimes take time to sit in front of me 5 minutes a day. Get your vitamin D at least. Close your eyes and allow me to penetrate your cells with this radiant, glowing, vibratory energy. It will help to take a lot of your pain away for those of you experiencing and suffering from pain. All right, that's about all I have to say today. But I do love you all. Thank you for choosing to be in my realm and the realm of Mother Earth, Gaia. Thank you so much. And what I'm going to do for me, I'm going to tell you to do for you. Keep on shining. And he's saying amen. All right, God. Guys. God, I called you all God. Guess what? Ooh, I got really deep there. I think I fell asleep a couple times. I don't know if I did or not, but he was giving me, just bathing me in the most beautiful light. And I'm seeing blue energy from him, and he was showing me these portals of light, like corridors, where it's very intense, almost like a gas pump filling gas into a car, just one wave after another of energy and energetic light. He's putting in the core of the earth, and then is moving its way back out. He's helping us to heal in the biggest of ways right now. All right, guys, I'm tired, and I think I need another cosmic nap. I love each and every one of you. I want to thank you for being here, for being my listeners, and for liking, subscribing, favoriting, or whatever it's called on the app you're using. Thank you for forwarding me also to your Facebook groups and the like. And tomorrow, I'll be back with all new, unique, and original programming, just like always. So that's it. Signing off with peace and joy and the high vibes of the holy fifth dimension. Until next time, guys. Peace. Do you ever wish you could look into the next chapter in your book of life and see what's coming next? What does the universe have in store for you? I can help you with that. I will give you a Celtic cross reading, which is 10 cards, or you can ask me 3 questions, and I use 3 cards per question. So that's 9 cards, or I can channel your higher guidance, or maybe God directly for you. Maybe you want to talk to your dear departed Aunt Edna, because maybe you have a few questions and she was the smartest person you knew. If your deceased relatives are available, or your ascended masters, I can channel them for you personally. Let me have 1 hour to show you the future in your next chapter of your book of life. Readings are $75, and it takes me an hour to an hour and a half to complete. And for this price, you will also be hooked up to the healing grid around the planet for free, which means yours truly, me, I will be giving you Reiki 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the rest of your life. All you have to do is let me know. MetaphysicalSoulSpeak@gmail.com, and we will explore your future together.